Hi everybody, my name is Steve Miller and I'm your professor for family sociology, and I'm really looking forward to teaching this course, and I really hope you can find something out of this that you'll really be able to benefit from it. It might just be your perspective, it could be about your own personal experience, or maybe even in your career, or just rounding out your education. Now this is a Gen Ed, and a Gen Ed course is something that most colleges and third-party providers expect to have included in most programs. So in Georgian, most programs have 2, 3, or 4 different Gen Eds to be rounding out your education, and this is one example, family sociology. Now there are some things that we need to review before we get started, so please watch this video right through to the end. This video is the foundation for your first journal, which is quiz number 1, or quiz, the orientation quiz about this video plus your syllabus. And it will be posted in a module that's called Orientation Quiz Test 1, 2, and 3 are located here. And I'll get to that in a minute. In fact, you can see it there on the screen, just in that little blue module, third one from the top. And it's based on, like I said, the content of this video and your syllabus. And it's an important first step. It gets you orientated to the Blackboard shell and orientated to your syllabus. Probably the most important document you need to begin your course. Now in this video, I'm going to highlight a couple of really important things that you should be able to be aware of that's going to help you in this class. I'll let you know about what it is to be asynchronous, which is what this class is. We're also going to explore Blackboard. What you're seeing right now is the entry page of Blackboard, so this is what you'll see. And I'm going to walk you through what everything is, where everything is, and how to use them, how to access them, how to post a journal, post your assignment, have your test be completed, how to contact me, a variety of things, okay? So let's get started. Now to begin, as I mentioned, the first thing I want to address is that this is an asynchronous class. Asynchronous just means that this course is offered at any time of the day, any day of the week. It's entirely up to you when you take this class. It's unlike your synchronous classes. If you're one of the students who are taking in class, you meet with your class on a particular day of the week at a particular time in a particular classroom. That makes it synchronous. Asynchronous just means that you can take this class whenever you have the designated time in your schedule to take this class. So that's an important first step. We don't meet at a particular time. So it's also important that you put all of the dates that are in your syllabus into a calendar, or in some way make it really easy for you to see where due dates are. So sometimes what people do is put it in their devices and they set up an alert which will ding to say something is happening that you need to be aware of. Other people prefer to print the documents and post them where they will see them. For example, on your refrigerator door or your bathroom mirror. Those are 2 places you're going to go first thing in the day. So before we give you this quick tour of the Blackboard shell, I really want to just give you a basic idea about the structure of the family sociology and the content of family sociology e-text. Now we're going to begin by considering what is family and family sociology. And then we're going to look at some research-based foundations of family sociology, and then we're going to look at a number of different theoretical perspectives and how they view what is family and what is family life. And we're going to look at several concepts about family, like family stages, the life stages of a family. We'll also explore some issues that can occur to some families that may not occur to all families. So let's get started right into Blackboard and where we can find everything for this class. Now, as I've mentioned, this is your entry page. Now, if you can see across the top here, we've got tabs. We're in the Content tab. Most everything that you need for this class will be provided in this Content tab. There is a calendar. You can click on Calendar, move over to Month here, and you won't see too much in here. One, it's the beginning of before the semester. We're in December, and I'm making this video then. So that's part of it. You can populate this if you want with things for your material, or you can find that some faculty would be putting these in your calendar for you. I'm not positive if, because of the assignments that I have, if they won't automatically go in here starting in January. Let's have a look. Yes, there's your orientation quiz is due. So the due dates are in. Unfortunately, the open dates, the quiz opens on the 6th at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's not in. So it will only indicate the due dates. Announcements will be posted here. When you enter the shell, a new announcement, if it's been provided, will greet you at the very beginning. And otherwise, you can come back into here and collect your announcements and have a look. Discussions, I don't use discussions in this class, so we won't be using this tab. You will want to check in gradebook from time to time. It's where all the grades will be for everything that you do in this class. Messages is like an email, but it's kind of like a text that we could do in Blackboard with one another. You just click on here and you can set up a message. You just look for my name and put it in there. Analytics, I don't know how useful this really is. It's an analytic about comparing within the course activities. I don't use it myself, but you probably won't need it, and we won't be needing groups. So let's come back to content. Now, the first thing that's first and foremost, the one thing you should be doing first before you do anything else is to jump right in and get your syllabus, your assignment, and your journal. Now, these will be here all semester. So if you don't get it right away, it will be here. However, if you do not get it right away, you are at risk of missing something. So if you open it up, you have your syllabus, your assignment, the resources that are required for this assignment, your journal document, and you'll see your course outline. I'm going to go through these kind of briefly. First, you just click and your syllabus pops up. You can drop it down and have a look at it right there. I'm recommending that you print it or copy it and download it, if you will, and have it available on your computer. This is our syllabus, and like I said, or haven't said, but I'm going to say now, there's your e-text, is that this is like a compass. This tells us where we're going to be going and what we're going to be doing each week. What things are expected to be done. They're in color-coded. If it's a test, a journal, your quiz, your assignment, another test. So everything is here. Your job should be to put these dates and times in so that you won't misunderstand when something is to be done. All right? So that's where it is. You can get it anytime. This video that I am making right now will also be down in here. I'll be putting it into 2 or 3 locations so you'll have easy access to it in order to do your quiz. So that's the syllabus. The assignment is over here. Now, the assignment comes in 2 documents. Not just 2, but 2 documents. This is the assignment, which gives you a quick, let's pull it up a little bit. A quick review of what's expected, what's going to be done, what gets handed in. This is an individual assignment. Here's a sort of an overview. It's due on the 28th of March at 5 p.m. no later. But this is the rubric. So this is what you're aiming for, is to get all of your days. So you're going to be creating menus for a family. It's not just any family. I've created a scenario for you. So let's have a look at that. This is the scenario. So again, what I've done here is I've given you a quick overview about what are quintiles. You're being divided into one of 5 quintiles. When something like Stats Canada is looking at demographics and looking at economics, they divide populations into 5 groups of 20%. Each group represents a category of content. And we're going to be in quintile 1 for this assignment, and that puts us in the lowest group of lowest income families. And then what we're going to do is create menus for 4 weeks, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and stick to the Canada's Food Guide as best you can with the money that this family has. Now, I'm providing you with a fairly detailed collection of resources that will help you with this assignment. Now, you also have a link here that will take you to the Canada Food Guide, which gives you lots of resources that may really help you a lot. This is what gets handed in. And then there's your scenario. There's your family, Bill and Ann and their 2 children, and they live in Owen Sound. Please do not change anything in the scenario. This is their life. This is the family that you have to work with. And do your best. The chances are you won't be able to meet the Canada Food Guide and look after your family. So you're going to have to make some decisions. You need to explain those decisions that you make in your assignment. Now, I've mentioned there's some resources. Now, I would really highly recommend you get access to these. Okay, these are your resources for the assignment. You've got the Canada's Food Guide, and this is a pretty handy PowerPoint in a PDF format. I think that's what I did. And it will just walk you through a number of details about the Canada Food Guide and how it might play out in a family. So you may find that useful to be able to make sense of how it might play out with your family here. Then I also put in 2 different documents. I'm sorry they're not together. This one and this one. This is the household expense by quintal. So I've put a spreadsheet together with the 5 quintals divided up into each of their quintal groups, with quintal 1 being the lowest, quintal 5 being the highest. This was as of 2019 and only for Ontario. By comparison, I've put Ontario and Canada together just so you can see what the differences are, and that might influence some of your reflection. Now, I've got a document here that is Family Sociology Patterns of Poverty. And this will help you understand the low-income family as to who are they? You know, the age, gender, education, employment. And therefore, it will help inform you around the consequences of poverty. What are the effects when people live in poverty and don't eat properly and are stretching their budget pretty thin? What are the effects? And so this one here talks about effect on children and effect on adults. And then lastly, I've posted a former student group assignment as a sample. This is only of the menus. It's pictures, prices, totals, and menus. Now, all the reflections I have not included. Of course, that's something that you should do on your own. But these will give you some guidelines as to how to organize your menus. Okay, so let's move on. Journals. It's a simple little document here. Basically, there are 6 journals. The first journal is the quiz that you can do for this assignment or for this orientation quiz. And then every other journal after that, I will post a video, and I'll show you where these will be. It'll be in a journal module. And in that, each journal will be 1 or 2 videos and instructions as to what to do with the videos. Basically, watch them, learn, and reflect. And I want you to be able to put in 3 complete paragraphs or more, but not less. If you put in 3 complete, genuinely created journal reflections, that's a full mark. If you give me less than 3, it's less than full marks. It's pretty straightforward. So I hope you find these interesting and invaluable in terms of trying to understand some of the concepts in family sociology. The last little document here is the course outline. Now, the course outline is really the place where this is our contract. If you go to another college, they're going to ask you to take a liberal arts course. You maybe have them, like this one. You need this document to show them that you've taken a course because it indicates what the distribution of marks would have been and what the number of hours of content and what the content is inclusive of. And they can compare it to their own courses and see if it matches. And if it does, you can get an exemption. So that is something you need. You may not know if you're going to take post-secondary again, but I would recommend hang on to it, because if you do take it, I may not have this anymore. I don't keep everything. All right, there we go. Now this one here is how to get a hold of me and how to access your e-text. And these are really important. And I've put in here some support videos for you. So let's have a look. First, how to contact me. It's pretty straightforward. Use my email and use your Georgian email. I am not, in fact, it's not me personally. Faculty are not allowed to respond to personal emails from students. By the Ontario Privacy Ministry back in 2018, I think it was, said that that can't happen because it jeopardizes your privacy and your security. So please, Georgian email only, and please add your name, fill in the subject line, and tell me which course of mine you're taking. Every semester I teach 4 courses, and they're all different, and I have over 200 students. I need to know what class you're in, I need to know your name, and the subject line fill is just a professional thing that you do when you send emails to people. If I don't have those 3 things, then I won't be responding to your email. Actually, I give you one, what I call a mulligan. I will say one and I will remind you about the protocol. After that, I won't respond. Okay? Now, the email you can send to me might be that you wanted to have an MS Team meeting, and that's fine with me. Just email me and let me know what you want to talk about and what day and time suits or meets your time well, and I'll make my efforts to try to do that. I'll reply with an email indicating here's the link, and I open up the MS Teams usually about 4 or 5 minutes early just in case you're there. I don't send emails on Tuesday and Thursday. These are days that I continue to make more videos for my courses. Okay, now I mentioned about accessing your e-text. Now here's where you need 2 things. You need your student number and you need a CRN. This is our CRN right up here, 21939. You click on this link, it will take you to Georgian Stores. You put the CRN in there, you put the student number there, and it will provide you a book that you can click buy, and then you purchase the book and it's yours. I made a video there just to show you how to do it. It might be useful for you. But the book is required. The tests that I create that are available for you to write are based on the textbook and my videos. And I also put up some online support videos for you. This is an online success tips. Now in this video here, I sort of break it into 3 parts. One is about time management. If there's anything I can recommend to you about success in an asynchronous online class, it's going to be time management. Put things in a calendar so you do not forget them. Alert yourself and look at them regularly so you don't miss. Missing a due date and a open and close date means you've missed that opportunity and results in a 0. I'm sorry, but that's what happens. There are no extensions past due dates. It's your responsibility to ensure you know when these things happen. The other 2 things that I talk about in here is Wi-Fi strength. Now, because this is an online class, I can't fix or help when you have a bad Wi-Fi. So I've offered you some tips on how to improve the Wi-Fi, particularly if you share an apartment or a house with several other people with a lot of devices. And then the third part is resources and help that you can access on your campus. Because I like to have things in PDF documents, the reason being is that if you send me a Word document, a Pages document, or some other format that I'm not familiar with, I may not be able to open it very well. And if I can't mark it because I can't read it, I can't give it a grade. If you put it in a PDF after you've created your document, it will make it that way forever for me. So if you send me a PDF, I will be able to read it and be able to grade it. I've talked about putting things in a calendar. I made this video a few years ago about how to use smart device calendars. It's also about setting up alerts that will remind you. If you're not familiar with how to do it, please watch the video. You may find that useful so you won't miss any deadlines. All right, let's carry on. Now, I mentioned that there are tests, assignments, and journals. They're in 3 different locations depending upon what you're after. Now, the only test that is in here is the quiz. Now, tests will be just like this. They will say test 1 and it will have open and close dates. So this does not open on the 8th, it opens on the 6th, and it will close on the 24th. I will change that. But we just click and open it. It will give you some details. In this case, you have unlimited attempts on this test until the 24th of January. Your highest grade will count. It's only out of 10, multiple choice, and true and false. All other tests, test 1, 2, and 3, have 2 limits, a limit of 2 attempts and 3 hours to do the test, and make 2 attempts if you want. And it's open from Monday to Friday to make those 2 attempts, but still only 3 hours in that 5-day period. If you're ready, you just start, and 1 question at a time will pop up and you answer, select to the next question, and so on. All your tests will operate the same, and they will all be in this module. In your post your poverty, it's not, I haven't put it in there yet, but this will be available for you. It will be it'll be looking a lot like a journal, and I'll get into that in a minute. But this is where you will post your PDF for your poverty assignment. Here is where your journals will live. Now you can see that they're all here, however, they're not all open because they have a little lock here, and they're not open because they open at different times through the semester. They're all open for 2 weeks, so if you miss one, telling me that you missed it because of a headache on the last day doesn't mean you couldn't have done it on the first 2 weeks. Please put these dates in. If you go into the content area, and I'll show you that in a minute, I always put in these dates as reminders. And basically you just open it up. We won't be able to, sorry. And it will be a video with instructions in a place that you can either post a PDF or you can type in your response. All right? Now, all content will be in these numbered weeks. The content will be videos that I make based on the content in your textbook plus other material that I have related to the content that's being provided. Now, this is where I was saying that I always put in reminders for quizzes, your journals, and tests and assignment in here. Every week there's something coming up, I put them in here. I don't always put announcements up. And you're supposed to take responsibility and look at your own calendar for what's due. So in this, I'm reminding you about your quiz, the 6th at 9. It will open, it will disappear at 5:01 on January 24. Now all videos will be like this, 1 or 2 videos a week, and they're very straightforward. They're high definition, so just click on them, make it bigger, and then there I am. That's my younger self, just by about a few years. 2 years. Yeah, okay. So that's all you need to do. Check to make sure that your settings are set at high definition, and it'll be the good quality. Okay. And I remind you again about the quiz. So every week is like that, okay? Now please do your best to get through everything as well as you can. I know it's not going to be easy. It's a big job, but do it one at a time. Make sure you do this first. Get your syllabus, your assignment, your journal, and these required documents, and begin organizing your assignment. It doesn't have to be left to the last minute. All right, everybody. I hope this... Oh, I know there's one more thing I gotta say. Sorry. The one other thing I gotta mention, because it is on the quiz, is that there are no extensions. Everything is open for long enough period of time that you should be able to get things done. And there are reminders in the content area down here about things that are coming up. So there are no extensions unless you stick within the academic policy. And if you do ask me for an extension, I will send you the link. The link is in your syllabus. So for the most part, any request made after a due date is a no, and there's no possibility after that. Anytime before needs to meet the requirements of the academic policy. So read it. And, or as an addition, needs to come as an accommodation letter from the accessibility office. And I get those regularly, and then I will email you saying, I have received your accommodation letter, and I will honor that, and I will make those changes. But just because you missed something is not a good enough reason to have it be opened again, because everybody else has to do it, so do you. Take responsibility, okay? I have to take responsibility for getting all my content up. You take responsibility for making sure you look at it and read it. All right, everyone, I hope this works out for you. I think you're going to enjoy this class. There's some good content in it. Everybody has a family, so let's understand how come we are the way we are, and what did our family do to help us get there. And also, what kind of family are you going to have? All right, everyone. We'll see you in the online world. I hope you do well on the quiz. Bye now.